What's up? What is up? What is up, everybody? We're back. I'm Irving Fryar, and this is the Fryar Place, where the conversations are fire. Yep, we got a great show for you again this week. Glad to be back with you. Just excited about our guest today. But before we do that, we have to do a few shout outs. I want to let y'all know, yep, I got my Eagles cap on right now. Just trying to make sure you know who I'm with. Yep, that's who I'm with the Eagles. Philadelphia's in an uproar right now. The Eagles and the Phillies are on a rampage. Yeah, the Phillies start their World Series quest tonight. So let's pray for them, pray for the best, and let's continue to cheer the Eagles on. But I'm with the Eagles. Yep. Hey, what's up? What's going on, Rashida? Good to see you. Thanks for joining in today. You're going to have a good time today. I'm going to ask, actually, all of you a question. Yeah, I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to give a prize out today, and it has to do, the question is going to have to do with our guest on today. That's going to be a little bit later on. But y'all come on in the room. Got 4 of you in right now. I know it's 12 o'clock on a Friday. It's a miracle that we have a bunch of viewers at 12 o'clock. It's just absolutely wonderful. I'm going to give you time to come in. While we're doing that, while we're waiting a minute, just want to remind everybody that you can see, or not see, you can hear the Fryar Place on iHeartRadio. Yes, if you go to iHeartRadio, you download the app on your mobile device, the iHeartRadio app, and go into the app, open it up, search for the Fryar Place. That's Fryar. You'll find us. It'll pop right up, and you can listen to the Fryar Place. If you can't watch us, if you're busy, you just don't have the ability to watch us during the podcast live or some point later on, you can listen to us while you're driving down the road or while you're working out at iHeartRadio. So go make sure you download the iHeartRadio app. What's going on, Mama? How you doing? That's my mother, y'all. Make sure you download the iHeartRadio app and check us out. All right. And don't forget, we also have merch, y'all. Go to pressandsow.com. That's PRSS, the letter N, and SOW.com/TFP. That's the Fryar Place. We got merch. Go there. There's a mall there that'll take you. pressandsow.com/TFP will take you straight to the Fryar Place, the store there at Press and Sow. We've got merch, T-shirts, hats, sweats. We got cups, all kinds of stuff going on at Press and Sow. Whatever you purchase at the Fryar Place, whether it's the Fryar Place T-shirts, sweatshirts, whether it's we have Pause, Pray, Pursue, we have a Moving Forward, Made to Move Forward T-shirt and sweatshirt. Whichever purchase you make, remember the proceeds go to nonprofit. So help somebody out and look good at the same time. All right. Hey, Bay, what's going on? Mayman Bay tuned in to see my brothers, good brothers. Yes. Yeah, you saw the promo yesterday. Yep. The young man that I have on today, he's sitting in the green room. He is one of my frat brothers. And not only is he a frat brother, but he's a fraternal football brother. Yes, he is one of the greatest to ever play the game. I'm going to bring him in, and I'm going to give you his credentials when I bring him in. I hear him breathing, so he must be getting a little bit anxious about coming in or unsettled. But y'all, listen, you saw the promo yesterday. He's my brother. Did I play against him? I don't know if I played against him that much, but I know he was on an opposing team for all of his career. Not on I didn't play with him. I played against him. So, but y'all, he's a great man, great brother, great former football player. We're going to bring him in, have a great conversation today. My brother, my frat brother, my fraternal brother, football brother from another mother, OJ Anderson. What's going on, man?
Yo, what's up, man? I like your intro. What you trying to do? Audition for the George Clinton show?
George Clinton? No, if I was auditioning for George Clinton, I'd put this on. Wait, is it? Is it coming on? It won't come on. Okay. I thought I had something on there. Let's see.
That's all right. Well, I've been talking about your cartoon.
There it is. There it is. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
You hear that?
I hear you, boy. I hear you.
You know something about that, don't you?
This is a story about a dog.
There it is, right there. No,
Yeah.
no, no.
Aye,
Hey,
aye.
let me stop. That's not what. Let me stop. Let me stop. Oh, you said
Yeah.
George Clinton. I had to hit the button.
Well, your cartoon character, man, the way you was bouncing around, and at the beginning, I remember seeing some of George Clinton early videos, and he had a lot of those scenes.
Oh,
And then
oh
I see
yeah.
you doing it, and then I don't know what else you started doing. That other stuff you started doing, boy, you so there outdated at what you was doing. I'm surprised they even I'm surprised they even allowed the running man still to be active in the
Wait,
world.
wait. Was I doing the Running Man? I was doing a version, the old man version of the Running Man. That's what I was doing. The old man version of the Running Man.
All right, well, whatever it was if were you trying to make it entertaining? Yes. Did it look like an old man dancing at a party with a bunch of young people? Yes.
Yes.
And did it seem like somebody was saying to you, "Hey, y'all need to tell y'all dad to get
I
get your
told y'all this
grandpa off the
conversation gonna
floor."
be good. Get off the dance floor. I was just trying to be, and I actually was going to shorten that introduction, but I asked my viewers, my subscribers, a couple of weeks in a row, should I shorten it? Should I change it? They like it just the way it is. So everybody who tunes in, they wrote in, they voted, whatever you want to say. They like it the way it is. So that's why I left it the way it is. I had a lot
Well,
of fun.
I can understand why I gave you a chance to go to the bathroom and go get something to eat and everything else. Because your intro about as long as Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Come on, man.
Trying to
And that's, you know what? You said the same thing. My kids said my intro was too long, and I asked my viewers, was it too long? They said it wasn't too long. So I'm leaving it the way it
Well, I
is.
just told you why they said not too long. What you think they got a chance to do?
You trying to say they old like me?
Hey, you said it. You said it.
So they go to the
Call it like
bathroom.
it is.
What's up, Gary Wright? How you doing? We got some viewers that came in. Gary Wright, Florence Oakman, Auntie Florence, Sister Sally, Darren Thomas. What's going on? Darren Doc Thomas. Hey, listen, Darren and Florence, you both are on Facebook. Yeah, we're live right now on my personal Facebook page. I do that. I restream. But my intention in doing that is to send all of you over to YouTube. The Fryar Place has a YouTube channel, which comes in 4K, it views in 4K, which is a much better picture, much better sound. Facebook doesn't provide that quality for us. So I have my Facebook page open and I'm streaming there so I can tell you all, go over to YouTube and subscribe to the Fryar Place. You're going to hear this better. You can put it on your TV if you want to. Troy, what's going on? I see you, bro. Listen, let me give some credentials of this brother who's sitting over here to my left. First round draft choice, eighth pick in the first round, 1979, St. Louis Cardinals, when the Cardinals were called in St. Louis. They were St. Louis Cardinals. First, and this cat's first, I didn't know this stuff about you, man. I did some history on you, and I love you. But man, you was a bad boy. You were a bad dude. First game this cat played in the NFL, and we'll get to the other stuff, but the first game he played in the NFL, he ran for 193 yards. You were 1 yard shy of the history of anybody getting the most yards as a rookie in their debut. 193 yards in your first game, and it was against the Cowboys, thank God. Against the Cowboys. But I mean, did you know you were that good when you came in as a rookie? I mean, because when I college and I come into pros, I didn't know that I could play at the level that I played. I didn't know that I was going to play 17 years. Matter of fact, didn't necessarily want to play 17 years, but I didn't know. Did you know you had that kind of juice?
Well, at the time I graduated from the University of Miami. We were just starting the program, turning around the program with Lou Saban as the head coach. And he said to me in college, he said, you have the ability to be a good running back if you work at it, because you didn't like to work as much as others. I guess when you're gifted with talent, you let your talent sometimes take over your work ethic. So he felt that if I worked hard, I would be pretty decent. And to me, it was like playing tag. It was. Somebody wanted to get me, and I didn't want them to have me, so I would just try to run as fast as I can. And it was a good year. I had some good offensive linemen when I first got to St. Louis. Dan Dierdorf, Tom Banks, Bob Young, some of the all-time great Hall of Famers and also great Pro Bowls. So I had a great start as a rookie, and Jim Hart was my quarterback. Mel Gray was my wide receiver. So we could stretch the field.
Yeah, you had those names are ringing in my ear. I mean, I know about those names. I don't know if all of our viewers remember those names, but Dan Dierdorf, cats like that, man, they were old school, hard nosed, knock 'em out, sock 'em, rock 'em football players. That was the real deal. And well, you talked about like playing tag. I read something, or actually heard something. It was an interview that was being done with you, and the cat said that you didn't necessarily agree to it, but he said that you learned how to run like that. And y'all go back and watch some highlights of this man. This man was a great running back. You learned how to run like that and make those moves because you chased rabbits.
That's a true statement. Yeah.
What is that? What, you chase rabbits? I mean, you grew up in Florida, West Palm Beach. Ain't no rabbits in West Palm Beach, man.
Well, there's a bunch of rabbits in West Palm Beach. You just got to know where to go find them. And you got to remember, I'm like 10, 11, 12 years old, and during the summertime, me and my friends, we needed to entertain ourselves, so we would go hunting rabbits. And most people don't know a rabbit has a quick burst, but he can't maintain it. So what you have to do is just stay in the vicinity, just stay behind him, and eventually he tires out, and you can get close enough, you can grab him. So sure, they're gonna do all those cuts and stuff, and it looks impressive, and you can change direction with them. And sometimes we trap them inside the football field where they can't get out the gate. I know it sounds kind of inhumane, but we didn't really. It was more exercise and more of a sport at the time we were doing it. But again, 10, 11, 12 years old. At that time, you're not thinking about what the world is today. Back when we had it, if you caught it, you ate it, whatever it was. If it was a squirrel, if it was a pigeon, it was a robin. That's how we entertained ourselves as young kids.
I was going to say that. I remember my uncles going out and rabbits and squirrels coming back with dead rabbits and squirrels because they shot them and we ate them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you weren't you weren't chasing them to eat them. You were just chasing them to just to entertain yourselves.
Yeah, we most of the rabbits we just chased them,
right?
Till they kind of tired out. But we never actually killed a rabbit the whole time we did it. But it was fun chasing them because when you're talking about elusive. And they can cut on the dime, and you have to change direction too, especially when you get one trapped in the football field and they start to sprint up down the gate, and you right behind them, and they dash to try to go across the field, and you make that cut, and you can see where they, again, they got short legs and they can't go long, and you can see you gaining on them, and you just keep chasing them.
Well, I was watching film of you, man, some highlights of you, and yeah, you made some serious moves, particularly for a big man. I mean, you weren't a little cat running up down the field. You didn't have blazing speed. I seen you get caught a couple of times, but that's okay. That was a little.
Well, no, you did not. No,
yes, I did. Yes, I did. I saw you get caught a couple. Yes, I did. Don't you dare say that. Don't you? Some little short, fast DB.
Angles. No.
Well, yeah. Well, angles. Yeah. Angles. Well, you okay? Okay. You weren't fast enough to outrun the angles.
Well, you know what?
Boy, you and Mike Rozier the same way. I never got caught.
No. Listen, if you go back and look at a Philadelphia Eagle game I played you guys down at the vet, I ran a reverse, and I was supposed to hand the ball to Mel Gray. I kept the ball.
You kept it. Yeah, I saw that.
Yep, broke. And Herman Edwards trapped me down by pinning me to the sideline. So, yeah, angles, yeah. But, I didn't get run down from behind like I've seen Darryl Green do somebody. That didn't happen to me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just clear the air, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what he had in his coffee this morning, but Ottis O.J. Anderson never got run down from behind.
O.J. Anderson never got, y'all hear that? Never got run down from behind. Richard, I'm glad Richard's on today. I know Richard's going to ask some questions. He said, yes, those names remind me of my age. Yes, they do, Richard. My mother's on, O.J., so don't say anything crazy about me, all right? You can say something crazy about anybody else, but don't say anything crazy about me because my mother will get upset and she will put a comment up here that she probably should not put in the comments.
I say, hey, Mama Fryar, I won't do anything to embarrass your name.
Vanetta, what's going on? Listen, I have a question I want to ask all of you since you're on. And I'm going to ask it twice, okay? I just want to give it to you real quick because it's a contest. If whoever answers this question first, all right, whoever answers the question first, I'm going to send some Fryar Place merch to. All right. So the question is this. The question is, O.J. Anderson was one of 4 running backs to score a touchdown running in a Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl MVP. He's one of 4. Who are the other 3? This man right there, is one of 4 running backs to win a Super Bowl MVP and to score a touchdown rushing in 2 different Super Bowls. There's 3 other ones. Who are the other 3? All right. Who are the other 3? Y'all can throw that in the comments at any time. Whoever comes up first, I'm going to give some merch to. That and same.
I'm sorry, but you can sweeten that pot even more by saying, not only was I MVP and rushed for touchdown,
2 touchdowns.
But who else other than me was Rookie of the Year? That's part of those running backs.
Oh, it's part of those running backs? Okay. I think I know who that is.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do. So who else was the so there were 3 others, and one of those 3 was also Rookie of the Year. So we'll throw that in there as well.
There we go.
So also put in who else was Rookie of the Year. They're going to go Google that. That's what they're going to do. 1,600 yards your rookie year, man. Yeah. My God. That's just amazing to me. It's amazing. People don't run for 1,600 yards anymore. It's a throwing, passing game now. So you play your first 8 years, was it? You played 14 years in the NFL. You played your first 8 years.
7.
Was it 7 with the Cardinals? And then you finished your career out with the Giants. While you're at the Giants.
7 years with the Giants. Yep, 7 years with the Giants.
And then you with the Giants, you win 2 Super Bowls. And the second Super Bowl, Super Bowl 25, you're the Super Bowl MVP. Now this is after that whole trade came about. Tell me or talk to the people about that trade, because you were traded from the Cardinals to the Giants, and I believe they traded you because they thought you didn't have it anymore, or you weren't, in their minds or their eyes, producing like you had been prior. But remind me, I mean, you had the first 6 years in the NFL, except for the year of the strike, you had 1,000 yards every year. Is that correct?
That's right. That is, Irving, you've done your homework.
Yeah.
That's why one of my arguments with people when they start talking about all the running backs that's in the Hall of Fame and all that, I said, well, I put my credentials up against any of those running backs in the Hall of Fame, their first 6 years, because I did have a strike year. Right. And in 85, I got hurt, missed 9 games. Mm-hmm. Prior to all of that,
right,
when I left the Cardinals, I almost had 8,000 yards. I had 7,999 yards. Can you believe that? Them son of a gun couldn't find 1 yard. So I know. I left the Cardinals with the all-time leading rushing record, and it still stands today. It still
stands today.
But you are absolutely right. And people don't know that I lost the rushing title by 5 yards to the late, great Walter Payton.
Right.
My rookie year.
Right. Yeah. So what was the trade all about? How did that transpire? Did they tell you that they wanted to trade? Did they tell you what was going on? Or did it just one of those things where you walked in one day and you found out?
Well, Gene Stallings had just become the head coach for the Cardinals at the time. And, every coach got to have a sacrificial lamb. I had a lot of pull over the team because of my seniority, and he felt he needed to capture the team. Uh-huh. And one way by doing that, you get rid of somebody who's you think can't be traded, franchise of the team, and you make a move like that, and you get control. That way, everybody know they're expendable. So the trade was because Gene and I didn't see eye to eye on playing. He felt that I should have been more like Robert Newhouse when I was a Cardinal, and I told him that's not my running style. And he said, well, I have Stump Mitchell and I have you, and I said, well, if you leave us the way we are, we'd be the best 1-2 punch you got. But I am not Robert Newhouse. I do not run over people. I run around people. I've been doing it for 7 years, and I'm not about to change my running style because you're the head coach. And that kind of not what you tell the head coach.
Well, I noticed you have a habit of kind of just saying what's on your mind. I mean, to a certain extent. you're just that kind of guy where I'm gonna tell it like it is. Have you always been like that? I mean, when you were growing up, you always been like that?
No, I was passive. I'm always respectable,
Mm-hmm.
but I
Oh well,
believe
you
right
do
is
it.
right and wrong is wrong.
You tell folk off, yeah, without cussing at them, without. You can tell somebody off without making them feel bad. That's how,
Right. Well, I try. Yeah, exactly. And plus, I don't swear anyway, so it's easy for me to not use those words because to me, I think when you use swear words to try to make a point, the point not made, it's just the swear words you hear. So nobody really listens to the rest of the part of it. But
right,
when
right,
it come down to stating the fact, I mean, my deal was with the coach, and I say, and no disrespect, I said, but if this is what you're looking for, I am not that person.
right, right.
And he and I just could not see that. But what was weird was that was we had just played the Giants that Sunday. Jim Burke and I went to Miami along with Jim Kelly, and Jim Burke was playing for the Giants. He said, "How would you like to be a Giant after the game?"
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at him. I go like, "Man, please. First of all, you don't trade somebody like me into the same division. Not only do I know all of our offense. If I get traded, I'm telling.
Tell it.
I am no longer your friend. I am the enemy. So I'm telling everything I know about the Cardinals to the Giants when we play them again because we have
Right,
another opportunity to play them.
right.
So I said if it happened, I would love to be a Giant, but come on, that's not going to happen. But fast forward backwards, my coming out as from Miami, Ray Perkins, the head coach of the Giants at the time, flew to Miami, took me out to eat on Saturday. The
Uh huh.
draft was on a Wednesday. Took me out to eat Saturday and said that they were drafting in the seventh pick in the first round, and they were picking me.
Mm-hmm.
So I go back to my dormitory on Sunday. The Cardinals called me and say they're picking eighth in the first round, and that if I was available, they'll pick me. And I told them I wouldn't be available because the Giants already promised me that they're going to take me seventh pick in the first round. Well, 7 years later, I ended up being what I should have been from the beginning.
From the
So
beginning.
yeah, so yeah, man. So when they traded me, it was during the middle of practice. I had just finished up one of the drills, and
Wow.
when you see player personnel come on the field,
Right,
mostly there's an emergency, somebody hurt, sick, family members. Not that I got traded. I definitely didn't believe that part of it.
right,
And
right.
I get there, and that's what happened. Now the story is the Giants were looking for a punt returner,
Mm-hmm.
and they wanted Stump Mitchell. And the Cardinal, well, Gene Stallings said said to Bill Parcells, forget about Stump.
Mm.
How about if we made O.J. Anderson available? Now, the story right here is that Bill Parcells went and talked to Jim Burke, talked to George Martin, and talked to Harry Carson, and talked to Lawrence Taylor, and said, we have a chance of getting number 32 from the Cardinals. Should we make that trade? And from what I understand, it was a unanimous decision, and the word was, and this is about the only curse word you hear me say. They said, hell to the yes. Get that boy.
Get
If
him.
you can get him, get him.
Yes, sir.
And that's pretty much how it came out. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you ask those defensive players. Those defensive players know. They know what the deal is in terms of what you're capable of doing on offense. Again, fast forward backwards. You brought something up in my mind when you said fast forward backwards. I want to fast forward backwards to your rookie year again, 1979. You just finished. Yeah, you just finished playing the Falcons. You whooped the Falcons. All right. You get on the bus to get ready to go back home. You had a life-changing experience on that bus, did you not? Your chest started tightening up, your heart felt like you were having a heart attack, I guess. You ended up going to the hospital that day.
Grady Memorial, man. Grady Memorial, how about that? Yeah.
Yeah,
The whole bus went to the
to the hospital. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened with that, and how? And I read that that was a changing moment for you. That was a defining moment for you. That pain that you were experiencing, not really knowing what it was, it kind of scared you a little bit and changed your life.
Well, yeah. What happened, was the fact that we had just played the game. It was kind of cold in Atlanta. One of those nights that the weather changed, whatever, and And after the game, we have drinks that we can put in our bags, whatever. Well, me, I was like, with the Cardinal, we had to pay for all our drinks and stuff. So at that stadium, their drinks was free. So I stacked up my little bag, and I was carrying it with my right arm, and it was over my shoulder. And I get on the bus, and like I said, we just played. I just had a good day rushing, and I showered, and the weather, all that changed, and I got on the bus, and I was kind of like out of breath. And then I had my arm up holding those drinks, and when I set it down, my arm started going numb, and I was like, yo. So I told the trainer, and they instantly thought I was having a heart attack, so they went straight to Grady Memorial. They rolled me in in a wheelchair. They took me to the room and did an EKG right away, and they did all kind of stuff on there. And the plane actually waited for me, and they did all the tests, and then they said, well, we don't see anything. There's no signs that you're having a heart attack or had a heart attack. We don't know. Maybe it was anxiety. They didn't know. So
Mm-hmm.
the next day, well, all hell broke loose the next day. Now I got to go to the hospital, and they did every
Right.
test you can
Right.
think of
Yeah.
that point on, and they found out that I did have high cholesterol, and they said my number was off the chart, but it's been that way since I was freaking 12 years old. My number's always been high. And
Right.
at the
Right.
time, they tried some experimental drugs on me to lower my cholesterol, and I can tell you right now today, I'm 65 years old, and my cholesterol is the same way it was when I was 18 years old. So who knows, and I'm freaking taking some for it, and it's still the same. So it's just God wills, I guess. I don't know.
So what? So
But
what
yeah, that's what
did
happened,
that?
man. That's
So,
what happened.
so
So
did that moment like resonate to you? Was that a defining moment? Did it change anything in your perception or your mentality when it came to whether it was football, or whether it was your life?
well, it made me think that, you got to live each day to the fullness because tomorrow's not promised. That's what our mom tells us all the time. That's a
Yep.
spiritual line.
Yep.
And I started realizing that. I started understanding that we we take life for granted, and we don't always prepare ourselves or do things because we think we got tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And some of us get to see tomorrow. And when you see tomorrow, it is a blessing.
It's a blessing.
Because when you lay your head down to go to sleep, it's a whole lot of things can go wrong. So
Woo.
when you wake up that next morning, are you surprised? I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I am always surprised when I wake up because I know what could happen when you lay your head down. So I just started really respecting life. I started respecting the power of faith and the power of what God can do and allow us to do each and every day. And that's what happened to me. So I just appreciate mornings now. I appreciate nights. I just learned to appreciate living.
So does that come from? I mean, your mother raised 5 children. You're down in Florida. You
Mhm.
raised 5 children. I don't know what were your siblings, brothers, sisters, what that number was, but from a minimal, she was a lady who worked as a maid, was it?
Yeah.
And
Well, you really done your homework.
yeah,
Yeah, man. I'm
she
impressed.
didn't make much money, and she
No, no.
raised 5 of y'all by herself.
Yeah, my mom made $25 a week, I believe, as being a maid and worked at a hotel that was about 20 miles away from home. Actually, it was 2 miles to my school when I started going to Forest Hill in West Palm Beach. When I started my 10th grade career, she was like maybe a mile from the school. So she had to catch a bus every day to get to work, and I had to catch a bus every day to go get an education. But it was 5 of us. I had an older brother whose name was Marvin Smoke Anderson,
Mm-hmm.
and he was by far as gifted as Gail Sayers.
Right.
He played football at Arkansas A&M back in the day, which is now Arkansas Little Rock, and he
He was
had
your
a swimming
motivation.
accident.
Yeah, he was your
Yeah,
motivation, right? Wasn't he?
yeah,
You? Yeah.
he had a swimming accident, broke his neck, and later on died. But from what I was told from some of the players like Lamar Parrish and L.C. Greenwood and some other guys who I played against in the pros,
Mm-hmm.
it was one other guy that was a defensive back for the Atlanta Falcons back in the day. And they told me that as good as I was, I couldn't carry my brother athletic supporter.
Wow.
He
Wow.
was that much better.
Wow.
And I said to them, dude, I'm rookie of the year. I'm comeback player. I was 10th out. And he was that much better. They said, yes, sir. They
Wow.
said he would have been as the equal to of a Gale Sayers.
Wow. And Gale Sayers was the
Boy,
man.
come on now.
He was
Come on now.
he was that cat there, man, was
Boy,
football. He was
boy,
football.
he floated when he run. His feet never touched the ground. You would think he was like Jesus. Jesus walked on water, but he walked on grass. I
And yet,
mean, literally not touching it. He
yeah.
floated.
Yeah, and you was a little while ago you were sneaking to preach. Richard said Otis is sneaking to preach. Yeah, he was preaching. I didn't realize you were a preacher, bro, but you were preaching a little while ago. So look at this. Richard I believe Richard has the answer. Richard Melton said Franco Harris, John Riggins, and Emmett Smith and Otis Anderson. Yes, but which one was also Rookie of the Year, Richard? You won that part, but you got to answer also who was also Rookie of the Year. What's going on, Tyrone Johnson? Tyrone Johnson's watching right now. That's my man. Pots and pans, bottles and cans all day long. Tyrone is who I learned. People don't know this, but Tyrone is the man in high school. I grew up with him in high school. That was my dude. We called him Jinxie, and I was Swift. And I actually learned how to hit by watching him. Not by any coaching, but I watched him. He wasn't a real big cat, but man, he would lay folk out. He would actually hurt himself hitting other folk. But I learned how to hit, make contact, have those pads smack by watching him. Jinxie, I love you, man. Marcus Thomas, what's going on, bro? Good to see you. Good to see you. You changing your screen, man? What you doing?
I was trying to get me more center.
You want to show your man cave?
No, I ain't got no. I told you, I ain't showing nobody nothing. They ain't coming in my house trying to hit me on my head. My mama told me a long time ago. Let me just showing people where you live at.
Well, they don't know your address, man. They just see what you got inside. That's all.
No, they might try to figure it out. You know, you might have a clue or something on the wall, might say something like maybe where you live or how close you live to somebody. Nope,
you crazy,
not
man.
today.
Coach Marcus, I see you, bro. Stuart Winrow, God bless you, bro. Thanks for joining us today. Michael Lott, I see you too, man. I'm seeing Michael Lott was binge watching the Fryar Place. He's been watching a whole lot of our scenes over the last few days. I've seen your comments, Brother Lott. Thank you. Listen, man, where am I going with this next? So I want to talk to you a little bit about your mother. I started asking you about her, and yes, you did talk about it a little bit, but what is it that you learn from your mother? Is there something specifically that you can remember or something that you carry along, something that you treasure about your mother? She's a special lady.
My mom always said, treat people the way you wanted to be treated, and she always said to us, you want a lot of things, but you only need a few things. Live by what you need and not what you want.
Man, say that again. Wait a minute. I'm going to do this because it's getting ready to be fire. See, this conversation just turned into fire. That's what the Fryar Place is all about. Remember what you said. I'm going to hit this, then we're going to come back to you, and then I want you to say that again because the conversation is getting ready to turn into fire. Watch this. All right, go again. Say it again.
I said simply, my mom told us, you can want a lot of things, but you only need a few. So she told us, you live by what you need and not what you want. And that's how I live my life. Wow.
And there's a difference. People don't think there's a difference between what they want and what they need. We don't need 10 pairs of shoes. We don't need 5 or 6 suits. We don't need 17 pair of sneakers. We don't need all that. We don't. Nope. People. When the Bible says God will supply all your needs according to his riches and glory, remember that was written back in the first century. Back in the first century, they had one pair of shoes. They had a couple.
That's right.
Yeah, that's all they needed. So if you have shoes on your feet, you got a meal on your table, you do have a roof over your head, you got a clothes on your back, just because you don't have a plethora of that stuff, you still have what you need. And you should be grateful because God does supply everything. My mother said it's fire. She said it's fire. Look, we got folks saying amen. Florence said amen, amen.
Yeah, absolutely. Amen to all what you just said. Because, we get caught up on materialistic things and we start trying to live for the Joneses. But, that's that song that goes, don't let the Jones. You know that song?
Sing it, man. Sing it. Go ahead and sing it. Go ahead and sing it. Go ahead, sing it.
They say the Jones got a new car today, and what we say, hooray for the Jones.
Hooray for the Jones.
And that's how you look at it. So whatever those people want, we hooray for them.
Right.
Because as a person who, again, you and I both know, if we wanted to live that type of lifestyle, could we have lived that? Absolutely.
Right.
But that's not who we are, and that's not how we were brought up. Our parents taught us to respect, I ain't gonna say respect the dollar, but we saw how they deal with money.
Mm-hmm.
It made us understand and respect that not to be what's the word I'm looking for?
Materialistic.
Glutton with it.
Yeah,
Not to be
materialistic.
glutton with it,
Yeah, materialistic.
So we understood that, and I think that's kind of helped mold us to the people that we are, the person that we are today, because we listened to our mom. We didn't argue with our mom like these kids are today. We don't have the confusion on who's the parent and who's the kid. Not when we came up.
Right.
You knew who.
That's right.
You knew who mom was, and you knew if you had a dad in your life, you knew who your dad was. But to have kids today, I know I'm going off key.
You right on point. You right on point.
To have kids today, when you walking around and you trying to figure out who's the parent, a lot has been lost in generation training that you see, and that's why I believe a lot of stuff that's happened today to our youth, and a lot of stuff happened to schools and all that kind of stuff. And my belief is that whole family environment.
Right.
That's why I'm gonna go to this here. You think about it for a second, ladies and gentlemen who's listening. Think about it for a second. We were so out of control with having people raise our kids, parents working about careers and forgetting about the importance of kid. To God said, and this is my just belief, God brought the whole world to their knees with this pandemic.
With COVID.
And I think just like Solomon and Gomorrah back in the day, that's why this world was hit with the pandemic, because we were losing our identity as far as parenting our kids and the growth and the knowledge and the nourishment that made us, meaning me and those guys who were born back in the 50s and 60s and 70s, kind of, still had that old school grandma doing a lot of parenting and whatever. But these kids were being raised by people who didn't have the same morals that we grew up with. And that's why the world was being run of just losing its identity. And my belief, that's why God had the pandemic, because he needed to bring the family back together. He needed to get mamas and daddies back in the household with them kids who need to be taught and not be taught by somebody else who's not of that family. When you get a maid or you get in somebody to watch your kid, you don't know what they teach your kid. So, at least when you had your grandparents, you knew what they were getting, because they gave your mama that knowledge. So that was my belief. I know I ran off on the
you're good.
But
you're
I
good.
apologize. But that's why I believe the pandemic came, because you know what? This is the only thing I know that shut the whole world down.
Right.
I mean, it didn't discriminate for no one.
Right.
It
the pandemic.
made everybody. And my belief was it made a lot of people come back together, a lot of relationship, and also in a lot of relationship too. But it brought the family back to where that mama and dad had to deal with you as a kid, and not somebody else dealing with your kid and trying to chastise or judge your kid or teach your kid. You had to do it. You got to go back and be that parent.
Right.
And I think that's what my belief. So
you know what? I agree with you, and I agree that that's one of the reasons that I can, as I look back on the pandemic, that's one of the reasons that we look at the condition of the world today and families, the condition of families today. Yeah, I would believe that's one of the reasons, because God's in control. Whether,
yes, sir.
I don't necessarily believe God sent the pandemic. I believe things like that happened in this world because of the sin in the world. So God could have stopped the pandemic, and he did not stop it. He allowed it to happen.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of reasons he allowed it to happen. I believe that's one of the reasons was because, we needed to come together. We need to get together as family. We need to get together as not just family biologically, but the family of God. We needed to refocus because we're out of control right now. There's many times, listen, there's many times when you talk about parent and child, I'm walking through the grocery store, walking in the store, and you see some child who's dressed like, did your mama know you out dressed like that? And then you see somebody walk behind her and they dress the same. And one's the mama and one's the kid. Well, no wonder our kids are jacked up because some of these parents ain't figured it out yet either. Lord have mercy.
You know what your mama always say, babies having babies. So who you think teaching? If baby having baby, if grandma is 30 years old, what you think? What you think gonna happen? You know?
Andy, what's going on? Andy Lesnick is on with us. I saw Troy. Yeah, my mom said y'all preaching. No, I think I saw Richard. Richard said Ottis Anderson. Yes, Ottis Anderson was the rookie of the year, but there was one other running back out of the four that was rookie of the year in those four, out of Franco Harris, Emmitt Smith, and Riggins. One of those three were also rookie of the year. Which one was it, Richard? You don't get the whole prize till you tell me which one it was. So listen, OJ, you and y'all, it's Ottis Anderson, but it's Otis Jerome Anderson. So that's why we call him OJ. And he's not the original OJ, but he's the new and improved OJ. That's what I call him. He's the new and improved OJ. So you leave or you get traded from St. Louis, then you go to the Giants, but you don't start off too well. And you have that little tiff between you and the management of St. Louis because you had some health issues, you ran into a couple of injuries, but then you got the comeback player of the year award. Was that your second year with the Giants, or was that your first year with the Giants?
I got traded in '86. We had a strike in '87. And then I played short yardage and goal line.
Right,
in
when you first got there, right?
Because
they said you was too old, and they said you was too old to do what you've been doing.
I know, but they fail to understand that when you get a whole year of inactivity,
rest,
your body really replenishes itself. It's like it get a new life, and you're not hit every day, so things changes, and that was happened to me. So in '89, Joe Marsh got hurt, and Parcells wasn't in favor of playing rookies, so he went to me in '89, and I went for another 1,000 yards. And at that time, I had to be 31 or 30.
I'm saying you were 30s, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, you know what I didn't realize though was when I retired from football, playing 14 seasons, I was there yet. On the other half, almost 36, 37 years old. I was like, wait a minute. So I went back and tried to do the math because, you came out of college, you're 22 years old. I played 14 seasons. So if you do the math, that puts you right at 36.
Right.
So I was like, dang, I was 36 years old when I retired. That's a long time for a running back. But again, I did not factor in the fact that in '85, I missed 9 games, got traded in '86 to the Giants and didn't play a whole lot because I was back up to Joe Mars, and he had a great year. That year he went for over 1,500 yards. And then '87, we come back with the strike, and I didn't basically play at all in '87. And then in '88, midway, the Giants were having trouble with short yardage and goal line, and late Ron Earhart, offensive coordinator, told Parcells, hey, we got this big running back there. Hell, he can fall 1 or 2 yards. Give him a chance with the football. So that's how I got a chance to do short yardage goal line. And what was weird was when I came on the field, everybody knew I was getting the ball. And I just tell Bill all the time, Coach, why you run the same play? Everybody know I'm going to get the ball. He said, because I know, they know, you know, so you need to get it. I was like, that's why he said, that's right.
And when they know you're going to get the ball and you get the ball and you still get yards, that's entirely deflating to a defense. We know what they're going to do. We know who's going to get the ball, and we just can't stop him. Exactly. And you were, dude. I watched you run. You were elusive. I mean, you were a big guy. You could have ran folk over and stiff arm folk and been all, physical, but you weren't that physical guy. You were an elusive kind of almost not a scat back because you were big, but still you were elusive. You made guys miss. You ran them over when you had to, when you were in a corner. You know, they backed you down in the corner. You ran them over, let them know you had the power. You could run, you know, carry 3 or 4 guys for a few extra yards. But most of the time, man, you had that move where you went, like you stop on this foot and then you go back in the back again. I'm like, man, this cat here was like quick.
Let me tell you what Emmett Thomas, Emmett Thomas told me. Great defensive back that played for Kansas City Chiefs back in the day, and
he was my defensive coordinator here at in Philly. Yeah, Emmett Thomas.
Yeah, he was Roy Green wide receiver coach. When Emmett first got to the Cardinals and he saw videos of me, he thought I was about 5'9", 5'10". When he saw me, he said clearly, you cannot be the guy that I seen on film until he saw me play. And he said, that's incredible. So basically what you're saying is, yes, I was a big man that had soft feet that could skip cut. All you gotta do is go watch the video.
I saw cut. That's what it was. Skip cut.
It's 3 running backs that I knew could skip cut. O.J. Simpson, Marcus Allen, Kurt Warner, the late Kurt Warner that played up in Seattle, and myself. The only 4 running backs that I've seen that could be running and both feet leave the ground, floats in the air, and able to touch the ground and jump different directions.
Right.
If you don't believe me, ladies and gentlemen, pull up my highlights film and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. It's everybody can't do that. It's a gift. Well, that skip cut is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I want to tell you something. I'm about to pat myself on my own back because Fryar had a skip cut too.
Okay, well, you're wide receiver, so like I said, I never seen running back. So Fryar, you got some feet, boy.
Yeah, Fryar had a skip cut too. Watch my film. I got a few skip. I didn't do it as much as you did, but I got a few skip cuts in there too.
Okay, I got to watch.
Listen, you talking about Emmett, Coach Parcells. You play for Parcells. Now let me tell you a little story. When Parcells, I guess he left the Giants, but he came to New England. That was the same year. That was the same year that Drew Bledsoe got drafted. I had been in New England for 9 years, and I had been trying to get out of New England prior to Parcells coming. And when Parcells came, he said something in the newspaper about, well, anybody doesn't want to be here, you know, I'll let them go. I'll trade them. Well, the next morning I was in Parcells' office sitting in front of him and asking for a trade. And he traded me. He let me go. And I went down to the Dolphins. I wanted to get out of New England, but I also did not, for some reason, inside of me, didn't know Parcells from a hill of beans, but I just didn't want to play for him for some reason. Most guys that I talked to that played in the league say that he was a good coach to play for. There are some who say that he was a total, but there are others who really admired him and enjoyed playing for him and felt as though he enhanced their career by with his football knowledge and his ability to recognize talent and put it in a position to do what they do best more often than not. What's your relationship with Parcells and how did that go? How was he as a coach to you?
You know what? You said it just now when you said put you in a position to let you maximize your ability. And he knew how to push the button to get you to perform at a level that he believed that you could do. And that's what made him a great coach. And if you was one of Parcells' guys, those are guys that he knew that if he was in the trenches and he needed somebody that had his back, and if there was him and a bear and all of was in there, the bear better get out. Because he knew he had the kind of people in there with him that's gonna take care of that.
Right.
So you would have been you'd have been great for him because who you are and the work ethic that you had as a receiver that would have been just straight up his alley. He would have loved. See, he didn't get a chance to coach many great receivers in his career. If you look at his resume, he has linebackers, he had D linemen, he had running back, he had some quarterbacks. But
he was more of a defensive minded coach though, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah,
he was. Yeah. That's his whole pedigree was defense.
Coach.
Right. So, but but could he evaluate talent?
Sure.
Absolutely. Could he get talent to perform to their maximum to maximize their ability? Yes, he did.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Belichick today is the coach that he is, because he's from that tree and he understood what Parcells was asking of his players and how he got that information to his coaches to get it to the players. Because see, people understand it's it's not hard. Football is not hard. Football is easy if you can get the message to us knuckleheads on how to do stuff. Because we got the talent.
Right,
We
right,
just we might not understand what you're telling us to do,
right.
but we can get it done once we understand what you are asking of us. And that's what Parcells. He had great messengers that could give the message. Like he got Jesus and the disciples. You know, Jesus gave it to the disciples, and they just did it out. That's why he was great. That's why everybody say, "Oh God, oh Jesus," you know, being as great as he was. Jesus sit back and say, "I was just the messenger. I just gave the message to the messenger, and they gave it to the world." And
Wow.
that's how life works. You don't necessarily have to be the one that give the message, but if you got a flock that understand you,
Mm-hmm.
you can give it to them, and they'll give it to everybody.
Give the information, they'll give
Come
it to
on, boy.
everybody else. Yeah, come on, boy. You preaching, man.
Come on, boy.
You preach. Chris Womack, what's going on? How you doing, bro? Rodney Lewis. I played ball with Rodney Lewis. He's a defensive back. Played with ball with him in college. Rodney,
Okay.
good to see you, bro. Chris, Andy Lesnick. I wanted to put, he's always the hammer, never the nail, the ultimate giant. Andy said this about you. Let me put this up on the screen so you can see it. You can appreciate this. Andy Lesnick. It says Andy Michael, but it's Andy Lesnick. He was always the hammer, never the nail, the ultimate giant. As always, you got another great guest. Continued success. Whoa.
Boy, look at he's a poem writer, whatever. But he rhymed all of that.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Guess who's on here? Guess who's watching right now? I don't know if you. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's Tyrone. That's my boy Tyrone. It moved up. Look who that is.
Tell Tyrone tell Tyrone, was he behind that record Eric Badu made?
Everybody, you call Tyrone.
Call Tyrone.
You're a clown, man. You're a clown. Leave my dude alone. Look who's on. Can you see that? Can you see that underneath us? You see who that is?
Boy, let me tell you something. Like I told you, I'm 60-something years old.
You can't see.
I don't have glasses on. I don't see nothing. I'm just happy to see that you over there. I refuse to wear my glasses. I fight it. I didn't see one.
The touchdown maker is on with us right now.
Oh, Baker.
Yeah, Baker. Yeah. Steve Baker.
There you go. When I put my little specs on, I can see now. Yeah.
Steve Baker, the touchdown maker. Yeah. What's up, Baker?
Hey, he's a big fan of yours, though. He's big. See, now I can see everything now.
Okay. Well, that's, you know what? On. And that's funny you say that, man. Listen, I've been laying, when I go to bed, I usually lay in the bed and watch TV for a few minutes. And I went to bed last night, and for whatever reason, I put my glasses on, and I could see for the first time. I thought I could see the TV, man. I really did. I thought I could see the TV clearly. Our TV's, HD. And I put my glasses on. I'm like, dang, that's a good picture.
Come on, be surprised.
I've been watching that, bruh. I didn't think I needed to put my glasses on to watch TV. Because I just need reading glasses. But obviously my eyes are getting dimmer because I put my glasses on last night. I was telling my wife, I'm like, boy, that TV is clear.
I remember I started off with 125 strength. Now I'm at 150. I might be 175 now. Hell, I don't even know. I don't even try. I just put on something just like you say, just to read. But yeah, like they said on the air, you're in the broadcast, so I could see that. That's
right. You just couldn't see the small words.
That little writing you put underneath there, like my name. I didn't know that's my name. But
you know that's your name.
I didn't know.
I took it off your picture by yourself because you were leaning to the side, and if I put your name up there like that, it's in your face.
I got you. It's all good. That's why I was changing my scene. Like, what you doing? You can't. I'm trying to straighten up, but I'm crooked to the side because that's how I am in my chair.
That's all. I took your name off there. It's okay.
Yes, sir.
Just a couple more questions. Listen, if you guys have a question, I'm gonna put up a question for you real quick. Just throw a Q up and then a semicolon and then ask your question for this great brother of mine, O.J. Anderson. These opportunities are rare. We get a chance to talk to someone like this of his status. Real quick, man, 2 more questions. One, how are your daughters doing? You got 2 daughters?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One is an esthetician. She lives in Las Vegas. Can't get off the payroll, but I'm working on it. And then the other one.
Wait. She's how old is she?
She's 30. She'll be 34, 35 this year.
Still in your pocket. Still in your pocket.
Still payroll. You know, them girls don't get off the payroll until they get married. Then I got one that got married, and I got a granddaughter who's just freshman in college, and a grandson who's in 10th grade. And she married to an engineer, and she's still trying to get on the payroll. I told my boy when he married, I said, listen, I want you to understand one thing. Once you marry her, that's yours.
She belonged to you. That's right.
And the second thing I want you to remember is, okay, she no longer on the payroll. Okay. So it's just hard getting that information through your girls. The girls are always there for you, man. They're always gonna be there.
I have 2 boys and 2 girls, and the girls, they're always. And you know, it's a funny story. I took my daughter. This was years ago, but I took my daughter to the mall because she needed to return something that she bought. So she asked me to take her to the mall. I took her to the mall, and we get into the store where she bought whatever it was she bought, and we're looking for somebody to help her. We find somebody who's going to help her. And as we were walking down the mall to that store, I saw something in one of the sporting goods stores that I wanted to check out. So I told my daughter, I said, okay, you take care of that. I'm going to go back to, let's say it was Foot Locker. I'm going to go back to Foot Locker and check something out. So I'm in Foot Locker looking at something I want. And she comes back, she's finished, and she tells me, says, Dad, I returned what I had, and I have this amount of money's credit, but this, I want this, that, and the other. I'm like, no, we came here to return your one thing, not to buy you something else. There's something I want over here. She goes, well, Dad, this I want. And then I said, yes. I said, okay. Mm-hmm. And then she started laughing. She started laughing. She took off. I mean, she started absolutely out of control laughing. I'm like, what are you laughing at? She says, because I have you wrapped around my finger and you can't tell me no.
Yeah. That's I'm so like, true.
And it's right. So yeah. My daughter's wrapped around my finger. Can't tell him no. So what are you doing these days, man? What's going on in your life every day right now besides playing golf?
The good one. So I started. I started 2 businesses. One of my businesses is called Sign. It's SIGND, and Sign is similar to Cameo. We give people, fans or whoever, an opportunity to get a video message from an icon and a piece of memorabilia. So, for instance, if you wanted a shout out like you get from Cameo, right? We offer the same type of shout out messages. But what we do is we give you along with that a piece of memorabilia from that player. So, for instance, if you get something from me, you get a football signed to whoever you wanted to in front of the camera, like I'm talking to you right now. Right. Authenticated. Nice. I sign it in front of the camera with authenticated, put it in a box, ship it, and it'll be at your house within a few days or whatever. Right. That's one of my business. It's called Sign.
Well, how come you ain't told me about Sign? I deal with Cameo.
You know what? See, this is what.
Is that because I'm an Eagles fan? Is it because I'm an Eagles fan and not a Giants fan? I'm a giant. I'm a giant killer, is what I am.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And let me explain something to you. You, Mac Brazil, Quick, all of you guys, I sent out because the NFL alumni supposedly have got in contact with all, because most of the players who are part of the NFL alumni have signed on to the company's Sign. So either you didn't sign in with the NFL alumni, or they didn't get you the information. But now I know you want to be a part of Sign.
Yes, sir.
That is easy. That's easy. I will have someone giving you a call by the time we get off this phone to sign you up, because it costs you nothing. Right. You set your own price on what you want your memorabilia to go for. And then it's just a matter of having people to call to request something from you, and we provide you with the football. You don't have to. You don't go get it. We send it to your house. Nice. And you just sign it and record the message. Right. And it's gone.
That's awesome. That football, that signature piece is over and above what Cameo does. That's nice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the catch. That's the
Mm-hmm.
hook. We authenticate it, so it ain't no guesswork. It
Mm-hmm.
ain't like, well, he ain't signed it. Well, guess what? It's right side in front of you, and it's a QR code on the football
Uh-huh.
that you hold your phone over, and it shows you the message right then and there.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So anybody interested, sign SIGND.com. That's
.com.
it. And the second business that I'm doing is me and Lawrence has been working for a company called Metro Exhibits. They are a exhibit company that build booths at trade shows around the country.
Uh-huh.
We got our diversity license, and we are now licensed exhibit builders. We now can build those beautiful booths you see at trade shows.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
we are a minority-owned business. LT is the president. I'm the what is C
CEO.
operating CEO. Yeah, chief operating. Yeah,
H
I do the
H
day-to-day
H
stuff.
H the
But yeah,
HNIC.
yeah, yeah. I
HNIC.
do. Yeah. Definitely. I do the day-to-day operation of our business. We got licensed in February, our minority license, which we offer major companies who deal with minority business. They get that credit that they all look for.
Uh-huh.
We are a minority owned company, and it's called First Team Marketing Group,
Nice.
and we're out of Pinebrook, New Jersey, and people we do graphics, we do backdrops, we do 10 by 10s, we do 10 by 15. We try not to go too big because we are a young company,
Uh-huh.
but we have the tutelage of Metro Exhibit, which is our company that we have agreed to have a relationship with.
Mm-hmm.
uh, and so when we go too big, we go to our partner company.
Right. Right.
So
And they handle it.
um, we new to the game. We would love anyone who's interested. We do pop-ups. People might be familiar with that. When you see in these Walmarts, or you see in your grocery stores, those little pull-up things
Mm-hmm.
you see there where they're advertising, we do
Right.
that as well. We
Okay.
do all of that. So there's nothing too small or nothing too large that we can't do. So it's First Team Marketing Group. That's the name of our company.
Mm-hmm.
And sign SIGND.com. You're gonna
SIND.com.
like signing. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna like signing.
All right.
Yeah.
So give that to the people again. Signed. If you want to find out and get connected to OJ Anderson and his companies and what he's doing, you got signed. SIGND.
Right.
And first what marketing group?
First Team Marketing
First
Group.
team and
.com.
first team marketing group.com.
Yeah.
Signed.com and first team marketing group.com.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Y'all got that.
And Irving will be on sign, so he'll be a part of the icon. We got over 300 icons who has registered. NBA, WNBA, football, basketball, baseball, all the major sports, soccer, hockey, and we're dealing with some golfers now. So we got all, and it's male and female. So there's no gender that has been slighted. Also track and field and gymnastic.
Nice.
So we have everyone's, and we're always looking for, like we say, new faces. Like, Irving just mentioned that he's not aware of sign. Well, guess what? He will be, just like Mike Rozier, actually Quick did a video for us, so
Oh, yeah?
Quick knows of it.
Okay. Well, Quick
But,
ain't tell me. I might have to step on Quick's toe when I see him for not
Yes,
telling
sir.
me.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Q,
But,
hey, Q, what's going on,
absolutely.
man? Thanks for being with us today. I saw a couple of comments with you. My nephew, Isaiah, what's going on? Great show, guys. An honor to tune in. Stu Winrow says he's going to be at the game at MetLife December 11th. We're going to talk about that in a minute, and we'll be done. Chris Womack, let me throw this up here for Chris Womack. He's all the way in Boston. This cat's in Boston watching us right now. One of my brothers. This brother's the reason I got seen.
No, I ain't got nothing really to do. So if you want to continue to keep talking, I don't mind. I love the mic. So we can get this Philadelphia and this giant battle, and then we can call it a day after that. But yeah, man, I'm good.
Okay. Question. Chris Womack said, "Can y'all golfers put a four?" Oh, wait a minute. Let me put it back up there.
I'm trying to figure it. Yeah.
Can y'all golfers put a foursome together and play in my dad's golf charity Dad Woe tournament? Dad Womack is supposed to be. That's who it is. First Monday in June annually, and bring the memorabilia too. Thanks, peace and blessings, brother Chris. Well, listen, Chris. If you get Ottis to commit, I'll come up with Ottis. You got to get Ottis to commit.
I ain't mad at it. Hey, he on your part, so you
get him to commit. Oakman, Chucky Oakman, what's up, Uncle Oak, Uncle Chucky, Stephen Baker. That's awesome. Congratulations, Andy, Vinny, AQ. God bless y'all. Okay. Sign.com. Thanks for putting it up there. Chris put it up there for you. See, that's SIND.com. Yep. He said, let's go, Otis. Chris said, let's go, Otis. All right, listen. December 11th. And y'all are playing good, man. It's the Eagles and the Giants. Nobody would have thought that the Giants would be playing. They only got one loss right now, 6-1, playing at this level. I mean, you guys, Dable's probably the coach of the year. I mean, how he's gotten that team turned around and playing so well. Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley looks like he's healthy and he's running crazy right now. And those cats are 6-1. The Eagles are 6-0 right now. It looks like they're headed for a clash for the battle of the NFC East. I don't think Dallas is going to be in the competition, even though everybody else seems to think so. I think Dallas is done. And the Eagles have shown at least that Dallas can't beat us. But there's a showdown that's going to take place in North Jersey on December 11th, brother. Do you have a prediction?
My prediction, what you gonna predict? You gonna say you gonna win? I'm gonna say I'm gonna win. So there you go. Right?
Yeah, but you gotta be real, man. You gotta be real.
It makes all the sense in the world. Listen.
But don't say it just because you just don't say it just because you think you're supposed to say it. Tell the truth.
well, the truth is that we should and can beat everybody on our schedule. But again, you know football and I know football. And we know that it takes more than what you see right now. See, one of Bill Parcells' favorite words. Let's not put the gold jacket on right now. Okay? Okay? Y'all are 7-0, we 6-1.
Uh-huh.
Are you gonna go undefeated? Oh no.
Oh no. We're not gonna go undefeated.
That's not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen. Probably not gonna happen. Right now, we're undefeated. So it's probably not gonna happen. Yeah,
after 7 games, you guys are undefeated. After a beautiful record. Nobody thought that you guys would be playing the way you play. Not even your quarterback playing the way you playing.
Right.
But you and I both know you cannot win with a quarterback that run around all the time. Sooner or later, it catches up with them. It's just a proven fact that quarterbacks are given that name for a reason. Quarterbacks. They sit back. Running backs run with the football.
Right.
That's why you got running back.
Running back.
You got wide retrievers, not receivers.
Retrievers. So now we dogs. When we put that back, when we put the Thomas dog back on, we put that back on again, because now we dogs.
Think about it for a second. You throw the football and you say, catch it, go get it. That's retrieving. Is that not fetching?
Well, okay, all right. We wide retrievers.
Wide retrievers, man.
You funny, man. You are hilarious. You know that.
But listen. But in all fairness, yes. I'm excited about what we are. I don't think that we are as good as our record indicate, because we beat teams I felt that we should have beat. The early on teams, Tennessee was a team that could have struggled with us.
Right.
But, beating Jacksonville, I felt that we should have beat them. The surprise was beating Green Bay in London. Yes, I didn't expect that. But again, you and I both know any given Sunday, this is what can happen. And then to beat the Ravens was another surprise. But again, any given Sunday, this is what can happen. So sooner or later, you're going to run across a team that matches up with you, where that it's going to come down to what football is all about.
Right.
It's about ball control, security,
Security, yeah.
and turnover. The
Right.
Giants has been good as far as not turning the ball over on their side of the field, which shortened the field for the opposing offense. If you can make every team go 80 yards or 60 or 70 yards, it is hard to
Right.
score on a defense if you got to go that long journey.
Right. Right.
If you shorten the field, then you causes your opportunities to win a football game lessens when you turn over the ball on your side of the field. And that's what we've been blessed with. In the past, Daniel Jones has been prone to have done that.
Uh-huh.
Under Brian this year, he has played somewhat smart.
Right.
He has protected the ball, but now he's in a position where that he's gun shy of throwing to the pocket or to the area that he see, and he's holding on to the ball. And that's why, as a receiver, that's why the ball is hitting the receiver in the back shoulder and stuff like that, because he's scared to lead the ball. From what I
Right.
understood, you're receiving Baker, and I talk about it. You guys has a spot that you're supposed to get to when
Right.
you're running your routes. And that's called timing. That's why you do it in practice. And the quarterback releases that ball anticipating for you to be at that spot at the time that you guys have worked that through practice and through contact and all that kind of stuff. So if you late to the party, that's how interceptions happen, because it's already predetermined where he's throwing that ball. Now, if the quarterback is late to the party, then it's going to be a ball thrown behind you guys, which makes it impossible to catch. So I've learned that that Daniel Jones is getting to the point where he's kind of gun shy about throwing to that spot and let the person get to the ball. And that's because of his pass. He gets a few balls almost intercepted,
Right.
and he goes back into that protection mode.
Uh-huh.
And that's kind of what got a winch out of if I say his name right,
Wentz.
out of Philly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I tell you, I got him out of Philly. Yeah,
So
he did. He stopped playing like that.
right. Right. So the Holy Ghost started talking while you were talking about
Go ahead.
the ball being released at the right timing. It's a timing play. And if you're not where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there, you won't be able to receive it. There's
Retrieve it.
retrieve it. Well, I'm going to say receive it because we're receivers. But there are a lot of people who are missing their blessings right now because they're not where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be. God has already, you and God have already rehearsed it. You've already talked it over with God, and God has already released your blessing. It's already on the way. And God's timing is perfect timing. God is never late. He's always right on time. But we don't get where we're supposed to be when we're supposed to be there, and we miss out on the blessings that God has already released. You're thinking about it's taking so long. Why is it taking? God already let your blessing go. He already released your blessing. Your blessing is already on the way. You got to get to where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there so you can receive it. Sometimes they get intercepted. Why? Because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. You didn't get to where you were supposed to get. It got knocked down. There was interference. Sometimes that happens, but it's not on God's part. It's on your part. Good God Almighty. I'm done, man.
But the problem we have as people, we're impatient.
Impatient.
We want it when we want it.
Yes,
but see,
sir.
it's kind of what you said. We want it when we want it, but God is always on time.
Yep.
When He says He's gonna do, He gonna do.
He gonna
It's just
do.
a matter of you and one thing about blessing, I think we misunderstand is you don't know when it's gonna come.
Hello.
You don't know when it's gonna come. And sometimes you get blessed and didn't even know you was getting blessed. And like sometimes you're in a financial situation, or sometimes you're in a sickness situation. Sometimes your health is bad. Sometimes you asking God to restore miracles or to make things happen. And when you get through praying, you know you want results. A person told me one time, they say, and you could help me with this.
I'll help you. I don't need to. You preaching it. Go ahead.
It said, and I think you might know it. It said, why ask if you can't wait when you can't? It's something like that, but that's not exactly how it went. Why pray for it's if somebody can understand what I'm trying to go at with this.
Help me
Bottom
out.
line is, The bottom line is, if you ask for something,
Uh-huh.
then be patient to get it.
Patient enough
But
to
if
wait. Yeah.
you don't think you're gonna get it, why pray for it?
Right.
But I can't think of what a young lady told me one day,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna remember that, and that God dang it, I can't remember it, but it might come to me.
Well, it's
He
simple.
may hit me with it.
Don't
Yeah,
don't doubt when you pray. If you pray and you have doubt that your prayer will not be answered, then guess what? It's not going to get answered. It's almost
yeah.
like
That's kind of what.
saying
Yeah.
I can and I can't, or I can and I won't.
Mhm.
Because if you either way, you're right. If you say I can, then you will. If you say I can't, then you won't. So
Yep,
when you
yep.
pray, if you're praying to God, you got to have faith. Faith is what pleases
Hmm.
God. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. Faith is what accesses the divinity, the power, the eternal life of God, the faith that we place in him, our faith, our belief, our trust in him. Without that, we can't receive, we don't even allow him to do what he wants to do in our lives because we don't believe he can do it. We don't have the faith that he can
Amen.
do it. So we block God from doing what he wants to do in our lives because of the lack of faith in our lives.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
y'all,
Amen.
so y'all, we're done. That's it for the day. We're done preaching. Listen, I want to thank my brother. I'm going to thank all of y'all when I get off with him. I want to thank my brother Ottis Anderson for being with us today. Just phenomenal. I called him the other day, saw him last week at a golf tournament, and he was agreeable to be on the show today. So I want to thank him again. Just a great man, my frat brother, my fraternal brother in football. We have a good time every time we see each other. Came down and played in my tournament years ago, man. Just didn't hesitate.
Yep.
So, bro, I
Yep.
really appreciate you for coming on today and being with us. You dropped some nuggets on us. You shared some of your football career, your life, some of your stories, and it was just phenomenal. So just thank you, man. I appreciate you. Where can people find you? Are you on social media?
Man, I don't do all that crap. I told you. Did I tell you before? I don't need people to know where I live at. I need, hey. Okay.
He said, man, I don't do none of that. Yeah, but you got
Okay.
businesses. You got to be on social media, man, to advertise. That's how you advertise these days.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. I have to be, and I'm on it, but I ain't on it. But I'm on it. All right. So yes, I listen. Best thing I do, I tweet. That's what I do well.
You
If I
tweet?
gave you my number, you can tweet me all you want to. Yes.
No,
Let me
that's
do
texting, man. That's not tweeting.
Well, that's the same old school. It tweet. It's tweeting.
So is it?
Text is the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
Hey, you send me a message, I send it back. If that ain't tweeting, texting, whatever you call it.
It's texting, man. Not we've been texting back and forth. I sent you the link to get on the show through a text. That's texting.
Okay.
That's not tweeting. Tweeting, you got to have an account with Twitter, and you send a tweet through Twitter.
Okay, well, I got that too then. Nah. But hey, but in all fairness, man, yes, I will have. If you don't mind, I'll make sure one of the account managers who sign up our icons give you a call. If
Okay.
you don't mind, I give your number to them and
Yep.
they'll reach out to you so you'll be a part of Sign. I think you'll enjoy it. And again, I appreciate you letting me be a part of your platform and let me be me. You know,
Man,
I love doing podcasts with people because I get to be me.
Yeah.
You know, and-
Well, that's why I
and a lot
wanted
of
you
people
on, because I wanted you. I love you. I love you. Who you are.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm raw as all that raw. I may be 65, but I'm still raw and I have fun. And, you know, I just got a young heart and young spirit. And that's why I'm able to reply the way I do. I don't try to insult anyone. I don't try to belittle anyone. I just try to live each day to its fullness because tomorrow's not promised.
So I'm going to tell everybody we're at a golf tournament. Yeah, this is an example. What I'm getting ready to say is an example of O.J. Anderson. So we're in his frankness and his just who he is, and this is a good thing. So we're at the golf tournament, right? His team wins the tournament.
You gonna say that, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Yep. So his team wins the tournament. So we're waiting around. You know, it's a banquet after the tournament, and we're in this big banquet hall. All these folk in there, and just a few. The black folk in there are the athletes. There were no really golfers that were black folk that paid to play with the athletes. The only black folk that were there were those of us who were athletes. That's fine. So he played with 4 white guys, and it was him.
Accountant. They were accountants.
They were accountants. So he played it was a fivesome. You got a foursome with one athlete. So he played. They won the tournament. So they announced they won. They go up to the front, and OJ starts talking on behalf of the fivesome. And as he's talking, he said, "Listen, y'all, that's right. We won. If you want to win," he's talking to the athlete now. He said, "Y'all, if you want to win, bring you black guys. Bring 4 white guys with you. Don't bring black guys with you. Bring 4 white guys with you, and you'll win the tournament. If you want to win a tournament, I'm a black man." Saying this to you. This is what he's saying. I'm a black man saying this to you. If you want to win the tournament, as a black man, you got to bring 4 white guys with you. Like, we're dying.
And you gotta let them. And you gotta let them keep the score.
And let them keep the score. And don't pay attention. Just let them keep the score.
Just play the game.
Play the game. Bro, I love you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being with me today. And I'm going to holler back at you. I'll let you know. Yeah, you can give my number to whoever you need to give it to get me involved with Signed. And, I'll be in touch in the next couple of days. You mentioned something about the game, too, on the 11th. So let me know what you want to do with that. If you want, you said something about you and your business partner doing some type of tailgate or something before the game.
Yes, we're going to come down to Philly, and we're going to have a tailgate at the stadium, and
the game here. That's not till late.
That's back then. But we may be doing something up here as well as part of it may be twofold.
Okay,
we may have to come up here, which is I know it's not a problem to the first game, and then the second game you may be invited down to that one as well. But if you win the first one, you definitely ain't being invited to the second one. I'm just telling you that right now.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
That mean y'all beat our butt, so I don't want you to be bragging about. Yeah, we kicked you out.
I'm gonna have this on right here, partner. This right here.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Come down, fly.
Hey.
Fly, Eagles, fly. That's all right. It's okay.
What did I say? How many fingers you see?
I don't know. They look crooked to me.
They
look a little beat up to me.
Hey, that's your camera. All my fingers are straight, dog. Look at all mine are straight.
My camera.
They say 1 championship, 2 championships, 3 championships, 4 championships.
Well, you can only put up 2 because you only in 2. So, and I can't put up any. So, there you go.
And 2 times. It was so nice. We did it twice.
Get out my show, man.
Hey, man, it's been good, Irv. I appreciate you.
Love you, man. Yes, sir. Love you too. God bless you, bro.
Look forward to it.
All right. Thanks.
Have a good one.
Yep. Y'all, that was great. That's my man right there. Ottis, O.J. Anderson, one of the greatest running backs. Y'all, over 10,000 yards, 14 years. There's only, I think, in the history of the NFL, 31 backs who've ever run for over 10,000 yards, and he's one of them. Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl 25, y'all. Today was a great day. It's a great show. We're running overtime. We've never gone an hour and a half, but we've never had O.J. Anderson on before either. So thank you all for being with us. Vinny, Stu, Vincent, Chucky, Florence, Ty. I see you're at work, Ty. I was thinking about you today, and you said you get the opportunity sometimes when you're taking your lunch break. You're probably on lunch break, probably running overboard with you, but thanks for joining us, bro. I appreciate you. I don't know if you're going to be at the game tonight. If you are going to be at the game tonight, RVRHS playing Atlantic City, I'll see you there, my brother. Richard Melton, God bless you, bro. Chris Womack, I think I said you already. Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker. Thank you, bro. We had Stephen Baker on some weeks ago. Also a Giants receiver. Great show. Stephen Baker, thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Vincent, Mom, good to see you. I said Chucky. Florence, I said Florence. Stu, I don't know if I said you. I think I did, but God bless you, bro. Thanks for being with us today. Hey, Lucy, what's going on? Are you still there? She said, whatever. I don't know what you're talking about. A while ago, you said whatever. Good to see you. But, hey, who is it? Hey, AQ, what's going on? Bless you, bro. Andy, I don't know if you're still with us, but thank you for being with us. Isaiah, I said Stu. Who else? Tyrone, I said Richard Melton. Listen, Richard, we're going to send you another T-shirt or another sweatshirt. Go online and look. Go to Press and Sew, please. Go to Press and Sew. Email me at thefryerplace@gmail.com. Yep, thefryerplace@gmail.com, and let me know what you want. All right, I'll send it to you. Nobody still didn't tell me who that other Rookie of the Year was. Who else is on? Let me see before I say goodbye. Vanetta, I see you, Vanetta. God bless you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for supporting. Rodney Lewis, thank you for supporting. Troy Oglesby, thank you for supporting, my brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you, all of you. We're at 2,000 subscribers, y'all. 2.2 thousand subscribers right now at the Fryar Place. We've done that in the last couple of months. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for observing. Thank you for just being a part of what's happening here. We're on the road. We're on the roll. We're moving. The Fryar Place is getting out there, y'all. So we thank you. This is the place where conversations are fire. Sister Sally. Hey. I think Alfred Parchment. What's up, bro? Q Sci-Fi. Yes, sir. Coach Marcus, what's going on? Michael Lott, thank you, brother. Marcus Thomas, as I said. Mayman Bay, bless you, bro. Thank you for being with us today. Frat brothers supporting frat brothers. I think that's Darren Doc Thomas. Yes, Darren Doc Thomas. Go over to YouTube, search the Fryar Place, and subscribe, please. Gary Wright, what's happening, man? All right, and Rashida, you still there, Rashida? You were the first one on today. Hopefully you're still on. Y'all, I'm out of here. We'll be back next week. Next week, we have a guest already scheduled. Yes, we do. His name is Dorsey Levens. Yeah. Those of you that know who he is or don't know who he is, former running back from the Green Bay Packers. He's going to be at the Fryar Place right here next week. So we'll see you next week at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Y'all stay woke, stay awake, stay alert. All kinds of crazy stuff going on in the world. Don't partake in that. Do what's right. Overcome evil with good. We'll see you next week. God bless you.